Hello, welcome back. It has been a little while since I've uploaded. We have had enormous amounts of water, downpour, rain. It is so muddy and wet everywhere. As you can see, even this normal path has just turned to mud. So, yeah. So, let me tell you a little bit about what's been going on. I think I've been out 3 or 4 times since my last video at least. And each time it has been a little bit like this. It's look, there are some stormy clouds, but it looks like the rain might have stopped. And as I say, it's been raining for 10-14 days now, and there's been a lot of rain. This weekend, Friday I managed to leave work a little bit earlier than normal, and on a whim I decided to drive about 2.5 hours away. It's up into the mountains, some lovely rivers, seen pictures from the area, and been on Google Earth, and I found a spot where I wanted to get to, and it was going fantastically well. When I got there, there was so much low-hanging, fast-moving clouds, and although I didn't manage to get a photo of it because I was in the car, as I was turned up, the mountain was being lit up by the sun. So it was kind of like all the autumn colours and stuff. It was like almost glowing, and then you had the clouds and stuff in the front. So I'll have a look through my my dash cam, see if that caught any of it. You just have to mind the quality, it'll be a bit rubbish, but you might be able to get an idea of what I mean anyway. And I got there with a few hours to spare. Thought I'd given myself plenty of time, and as I'm walking through basically marshland, luckily enough the people who have holiday huts in the area had put planks down, so I was able to walk on that for most of the way. Otherwise I wouldn't have probably even gone half of the way I was wanting to get. And I'm probably half a kilometre into my walk where I suddenly see these nice group of trees. What they're called in English, I can't quite remember now. I'll show you the film and the picture of it. Reasonably happy with the composition. Here you can see my composition. I've basically taken a portrait orientated pano, and I've done it from where you can see the walkway here. I might well crop that out afterwards. I don't know if I want to keep that yet. But then I've gone all the way across here to where you can see the last trees there, and a little bit further over here. And probably about here is as far as it's stretched. Whether I crop closer to these trees and keep that nice and tight, make it a square crop, I don't know yet, but at least I've got more picture than I need, and I prefer to do that than end up cutting my scene too close, that's for sure. And I kept going after that, and get to the first major crossing of the river, where it is perfect flow, beautiful big massive boulders with moss and tiny little waterfalls. the river meandering between all these boulders. So I was like, I knew for a fact that I'd be able to get a perfect shot that day if I wanted it, because if I didn't find anything better, I'd go back there and take that one. And I kept walking, I kept going, and I got all the way to the top. It's probably about 700-800 meters above sea level. Me being me, I'd forgotten to take any water with me, but luckily, Norway being Norway, rivers from the mountains are very, very safe to drink. Never had a problem, so I was okay. And with it being so much rain that's fallen down as well in the last week or so, the rivers were flowing really well. So I get to the top anyway, and the weather just moves in really quickly. I did manage to grab a picture, but I didn't dare bring out my film camera. I tried my drone, but I got it in the air and I had to get it straight down again. It was starting to rain, and yeah, the drone I have is not technically waterproof or weather sealed, I suppose. Although I do know that it copes with a bit, but I don't want to risk it. So I managed to grab a picture at the top there as well, but I didn't film it. And grabbed that picture and then got back to the car as quickly as I could. By the time I got to the car, there was absolutely no part of me that was dry. My shoes had filled up with water. I had jeans on, which is always fun when you have to. Luckily, I had spare clothes with me so I could change, but yeah. So I got kind of like half of it filmed and the other half not. So I'll just probably throw up some of the footage here now, at least the pictures and stuff. And hopefully I'll find something equally as good today. And if I do, you'll hear from me again very shortly. I hope you can hear me above all this water. And not only that, but if you can see, this is the composition I have ended up finding. My camera's here. I have got a rock there in my foreground, and then there's a rock in the middle there, middle ground, and then waterfall a bit further back, and then the greenery. So I've done a focus stack here. It is now, I think, just before sunset, but it is totally overcast, clouded over. There's hardly any light getting into where I am here now. So my composition, I've ended up doing a 5-second f8, and I've had to go up to 320 ISO. The reason for that was I did not want to do any longer shutter speed than 8 seconds, because the water would just wash out totally and leave no details. As it is, by the looks of the back of the camera, the image might have worked out. What I like about this image is the foreground rock with the moss on it, and that's catching a little bit of the light that is coming down. It's very diffuse, so it's very, very soft. The middle ground there is the stone under the water, and then you've got the main waterfall, if you will, and behind there you've got 3 little ones. Hopefully that will show up on the camera. I tried to use my 50 ml lens in the beginning, but that worked out, I just couldn't get it in. And photo stitching, water, moving this fast together, I'm not sure that would have worked either, so I changed to my 18 to 55 polarizer, and yeah, here it is.
I got a heart on the 7 seas, filled with these memories. I let it go, it's not my own. It don't so